We're delighted to have a couple of guests here in our studio.
Good morning.
Veterans of around 10, you could say.
True.
Eric Cockley and Blair Hecker from the City of Frankfort. We're talking about the community-wide housing study, right? Eric, kick us off and just tell us what it really is in general, and then what you guys are going to do.
Sure. So a lot of the conversations we've had around our comprehensive plan and other, sort of long-range planning discussions with partner agencies and our advisory committee and just within staff and our consultant team over the past several months, it sort of became apparent to a lot of us that it was a good time to think about doing a housing study and really see what our market was demanding, what holes and gaps in that market, to help us, forecast for the future and then think about making good decisions for future land use in the comp plan and that kind of stuff. And also to signal to our local development community and folks if there are forces at work that they maybe haven't recognized that are available, and understanding, affordable housing challenges and what other things might, if there's a demand that's not being met, what's keeping us from doing that, and how do we improve? So that work's been ongoing for several months. We've been working with Points Consulting out of they're out of Boise, Idaho, and they have now completed the housing study. So this document will help us, as I said, with forecasting, which understanding what we have, population growth, and thinking about the number of housing units, affordability issues, and that kind of thing.
And so, is this sort of part of the comprehensive plan in any way, or I imagine it'll shape it a little bit and get you guys an idea.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
But the hope for doing it when we did it was that it can be information used to inform what we do with the comp plan. Yeah. So it should be very helpful for that, I think.
Yeah, and then and Blair, tell us about the actual public meeting that's going on next week.
Yeah, so just like what Eric said, and I guess to kind of give some more information to the question that you just asked, not only will this study help inform some of the comprehensive plan, there's a lot of different transformational projects happening across the community right now too, that we feel like this is really a key piece for a lot of different projects and programs that are going to happen. And so keeping that in mind, we know that this study is something that our entire community is interested in, but also going to benefit from, right? Like it's going to provide information that, so this is a joint project between city and county, first of all. So it's going to inform our local governments, but it's also going to inform a lot of other groups within our community and maybe hopefully drive some of the work that they're going to do. So all that being said, our focus has really been on making sure that our community has a way to receive this information and ask questions and continue to be part of that process. And so our committee, who's kind of helped give input and drive this process, wanted to make sure that our results were presented in a community forum. And now that the study is complete, we have scheduled that. And we want to make sure, so we're here this morning. Originally, we were going to have that community presentation this evening, the 19th, at the library. And that has changed. We had some scheduling conflicts, and so we wanted to make sure we had a date that would accommodate the most amount of people possible. We have changed that to next Tuesday, July the 25th at 5 p.m. And that's actually now going to be in the community room at the Frankfort Plaintboard building off of Flynn Avenue. Yeah. And so we just want to make sure that our entire community knows that they are welcome to come. Our consultant, Points Consulting, is going to be there giving that presentation. City and county staff will be on hand. And we want everyone to hear this information for the first time together, be able to ask questions, and really, start thinking about where we go from here with this study.
Yeah. And so you mentioned there will be a presentation and releasing of information, but then also there's an opportunity for people to ask questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's really
really wanted it to be kind of an open, neutral forum where folks can participate, whether it's elected officials, staff, or anybody that's just interested, can ask consultant questions and and that kind of thing.
So no sneak peek of info for our viewers here. You want the first time to be heard at the meeting where everybody can hear it at the same time.
Yeah, and then of course we'll share it. It'll be on the city's website, and so people can get the information themselves.
Yeah, and that's when we're kicking off this information. This is going to be a living and breathing process from here on out. So we will have all of that available. The conversation won't stop next Tuesday night. It'll kind of just be kicking off. So we'll make all of that available for the community.
So Eric, like you said, is the main thing that you can do with the study now that you have and kind of know what the needs are, is it, like you said, kind of what the action can be after that? Is it removing obstacles that might prevent developers from coming in? Like,
that could be part of it. So whether there's regulatory things that have kept something from happening that otherwise the market would want to happen, it can also be, looking at things that are zone, following the comp plan. We've talked about this before. We're really fortunate that we're going to then go and amend our development codes as well. So are there things in those codes that they're not allowing something that the market wants to do in certain places? And so there's a level of analysis in this that's pointing out things that we might change when we get to that point. So that's the other useful thing about doing this is first for the comp plan to talk about what we think we want the future to look like and where and how much, and to justify that with data and analytics, but then also to use this as some baseline recommendations so that the next step is when we go to the development code rewrite that we can say, okay, we said we want these things to happen, and here are the things that we need to change to allow them to happen.
Yeah. And then after public input on Tuesday, there might be some things that weren't considered or might be reassessed in some way if there's
or even things that perhaps we've heard from the public and that the Comp Plan Advisory Committee has talked about that are maybe going to be reinforced even. So we'll see.
Now, is this the first time in a while that you all have done like a housing study, or how often do studies like this happen?
This is the first one I've been involved in.
Yeah.
If there has been a housing study done for the entire community, it has definitely been a while. So it's a good time to do it, just like I think it's a good time to do the comp plan and the development code rewrite, because the timing for our community and the growth and investment that we're feeling in some of these transformative projects that Blair's referencing, I think we're kind of at a corner where it's a good time for us as a community to look in the mirror, do some planning, and chart our course. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. There's also honestly just a lot of exciting stuff going on in Frankfort, and I know we've talked about it on the show that you can kind of feel a bit of excitement going on the last I don't know how many years, at least 5 or 6 years or so.
Right.
It's been
I've been over 20, and I'd say that 5-year window, the past 5 years, so much has happened compared to the rest of the time that I've been here. Definitely a different vibe, especially downtown, and some cathartic things happening.
Well, and then just events going on downtown too, and the summer concerts being as big as they are and continue to be. I mean, this is a perfect time to do this housing study right along with the comp plan and everything. And then the public meeting again. Let's remind folks.
Tuesday, July 25th at 5 p.m. at the Frankfort Plant Board Community Room on Flynn Avenue. Everyone is invited. I think we're going to try to do recording of that if you're not able to be there. And we will make we'll make the slide deck available and the whole report from our consultants available after that as well.
Before we let you go, we need to know if you all play any games, if you got any favorite games to play with friends.
Actually, we are big board game people.
Twister.
In our house. We have done some Twister. I'm actually trying to teach my 4-year-old how to play Twister right now. We used to play catchphrase a lot, my friends and I, and it actually almost broke up a few marriages, and so we've had to put a hold on that for the past few years. So.
Good idea.
Celebrity. So we have a game, and I don't know who originally created this, but it's kind of like a charade. So basically you get a basket, you divide everybody into 2 teams, and everybody gets 3 pieces of paper, and you write a name of a person. It could be like an actor, an athlete, famous person, historical figure. Could be somebody else in the room or some local person that you're gonna, but somebody identifiable.
Yeah.
And you put them all in, and you're timed, and you go around the room, and you have to like guess. So the first round, you have a minute,
Yeah.
and you can use whatever words you can't say the name to get the folks on your team to guess who the person is.
It's like high stakes charades.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
and then so you keep the ones you get, and you get scored, and then the second round, same names again, but you can only use one word. And then you do a third round and no words
No
at all,
speaking.
and you have to act it out.
That's pretty cool.
I
I
like
like,
It's
I like
fun.
the rounds too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of changes.
And
it.
so sometimes the clues get funny because you'll have some clue that somebody might have used in the first round to get a person that might even be like terribly inaccurate.
Right.
But as you go, you kind of stick with that clue.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah, that reminds me of a game we did. It's a great party game where you just pull names out of a hat, that kind of thing, and staple it to not either the head or your back. And
yes.
everybody else knows, and you're trying to guess what name
Right.
you have and who you are. But that sounds like a little more advanced, and yeah, I like the round structure of that. Yeah.
Cool.
Celebrity.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right. I always appreciate you all stopping in and keeping us
Yeah.
up to date. And we'll be keeping our eye on this public meeting on the 25th, and we'll record that for everybody. But thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys for
Yeah,
having us,
absolutely.
as always. We really appreciate it.